Let me start with something most people don't want to hear. Nothing is easy. Not success, not discipline, not waking up early, not staying focused. Nothing. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you start living with purpose. We live in a world that sells comfort as success, quick wins, overnight fame, passive income. But what they don't tell you, what they can't sell you, is the truth. Everything worth having demands something from you. Take a moment and think about the last time something meaningful in your life came easy. That deep relationship you value, that skill you're proud of, that transformation you went through, none of it came without effort, pain, or persistence. You had to show up not once, but again and again and again. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Let me tell you about a man who failed 93 times. His name? Thomas Edison. People remember him as the man who invented the light bulb, but they forget he spent years in the dark. He didn't stumble upon brilliance. He worked his way through failure until light became possible. So I ask you, what makes you think your dream should come easy? What makes you think greatness should arrive without struggle? The truth is, the difficulty, the fight, the failure, the frustration, that is the process. And if you're not struggling, you're probably not growing. Because easy doesn't change you. Hard does. If you're not failing, you're not even trying. Today, I want to shatter the myth of ease. Not to discourage you, but to empower you. Because once you stop expecting it to be easy, you stop waiting and you start moving. That's when everything changes. So next time you feel like quitting because it's hard, remember it's supposed to be. Failure doesn't knock politely. It crashes into your plans. It ruins your momentum. It leaves you staring at the ceiling, wondering if you're even built for this. And that's the moment that matters most. Not when things go right, but when everything falls apart. What you do after you fail is what separates dreamers from doers. Most people stop. They doubt themselves. They let one fall become the end. But the ones who rise, they don't just get back up, they fall forward. Falling forward means you refuse to waste the pain. You use it. You treat failure like feedback, not defeat. It's not glamorous. It's not pretty. But every time you fall and take even one step forward, you're already ahead of the version of you who stayed down. You build momentum by moving through setbacks, not by avoiding them. You build character when no one's watching, when no one's clapping, when you're bleeding inside but pushing anyway. People think greatness is about perfection. It's not. It's about recovery. It's about direction. Which way do you fall? Backwards? You stay where you are. Sideways? You lose your balance. But forward? You fall into the fight. You fall into the lesson. You fall into your future. So expect to fall. You're human. You will mess up. You will get tired. You will make mistakes. But when that happens, don't stop. Don't pause. Don't retreat. Fall forward. Move forward. Live forward. Because that's where everything you want is waiting. Success has a price. And no, it's not money. It's pain. Quiet, invisible, personal pain. The kind of pain that wakes you up at 4 a.m. when no one's watching. The kind that whispers, maybe you're not good enough, and dares you to respond. The kind that sits in your chest when you worked your heart out and it still isn't enough. Growth doesn't come dressed in comfort. It arrives wrapped in discomfort, in sacrifice, in silence. Nobody claps for the nights you cry alone. Nobody sees the hours you practice after everyone's gone home. Nobody understands why you keep going when quitting feels so easy. But you do, because deep down, you know this pain has purpose. Pain sharpens you. It humbles you. It strips away the lies and excuses. It introduces you to who you really are, not the version you show the world, but the version that bleeds and still stands tall. Some people avoid pain their entire lives, and they stay average. They stay safe. But you're not here to stay safe. You're here to break limits. Every ache in your legs, every doubt in your mind, every setback in your journey, it's a down payment. You're paying for something greater. You're buying strength. You're buying vision. You're buying a future no one else can see yet, but you believe in it enough to hurt for it. So the next time it burns, let it burn. The next time it breaks you, rebuild stronger. The next time it hurts, smile, because you're not lost. You're paying the price. And greatness never goes on sale. You don't become great by chance. You don't stumble into excellence. You build it brick by brick, habit by habit, day by day. And the tool you use, discipline. Discipline is not loud. It doesn't scream. It doesn't shine. It doesn't care if you're tired. It shows up anyway. While motivation fades, discipline remains. When the thrill is gone, when nobody's cheering, when the goal feels distant and the reward uncertain, discipline stays. It's waking up before the sun, even when the bed is warm. It's saying no to comfort and yes to consistency. It's doing the work when no one claps, when no one cares, when no one sees. People admire the outcome. They clap for the trophies, the titles, the success, but they don't see the discipline, the hours, the structure, the control. Greatness is a quiet rhythm. You train it like a muscle. And the days you don't feel like it, those are the most important ones. Because that's when discipline speaks. That's when the engine revs up, even when the road ahead is steep. Discipline isn't about doing extraordinary things. It's about doing ordinary things with extraordinary consistency. Want to be stronger? Train daily. Want to be smarter? Study daily. Want to be fearless? Show up scared daily. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need applause. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to move every day forward. That's discipline. And that's the invisible engine that carries you through storms, across valleys, and up the mountain of greatness. Most people don't fail because they can't. They fail because they stop. They stop when it gets boring. They stop when it gets slow. They stop when the crowd disappears, when the hype fades, when it stops feeling worth it. They think success should feel good, but it doesn't, not at first. It feels like repetition. It feels like isolation. It feels like doing the right thing with no reward over and over again. And that's where they quit. They walk away, not because they lack talent, but because they lack patience. They expected fireworks. They got friction. They wanted speed. They got silence. They were chasing results. But results don't show up early. Effort does. Effort shows up before anyone notices. Effort shows up when it's still dark. Effort shows up when there's no feedback, no applause, no finish line in sight. That's why most people stop. But you can't stop. Because what you're building isn't just for today, it's for who you're becoming. This road will test you. You'll lose momentum. You'll doubt your steps. But remember, progress is rarely loud. It whispers. It's hidden in the days you almost quit but didn't. It's buried in the minutes no one counts, the decisions no one tracks. You have to keep going when it doesn't make sense yet. That's how greatness works. There will be moments where everything in you says, this isn't working. This is too much. Maybe I'm not enough. But those are not signs to stop. They're signs you're close. Because right before most people quit is exactly when things begin to shift. Don't stop. Not now. Not here. Not after everything. Let them quit. Let them stop. But you keep going. Fear isn't the enemy. It's the signal. It tells you what matters. It tells you where the edge is. It tells you where growth begins. Most people run from it. They avoid it. They wait until they feel brave. But bravery is not the absence of fear. It's moving through it, eyes open, hands shaking, heart pounding. Fear only controls you when you believe it's stronger than you. But it's not. It's just noise. Loud, maybe, but not permanent. Every person you admire, they were scared. They doubted. They questioned themselves, but they moved anyway. And that's what changed everything. You don't beat fear by pretending it's not there. You beat it by showing up with it. Fear in your backpack, courage in your chest, both walking forward. When your knees tremble, take the step anyway. When your voice shakes, speak anyway. When your hands sweat, build anyway. Fear is fuel. Use it. Let it sharpen you, not stop you. Let it remind you that what you're doing matters. Because here's the truth. If you feel fear, it means you're close. Close to the edge of who you are. Close to the door of who you can become. Don't run. Lean in. And when fear whispers, you can't, let your actions scream back. Watch me. You've come too far to stop now. Too many early mornings. Too many late nights. Too many moments you wanted to quit but didn't. This is where most people turn around. Not because they're weak, but because they forget how close they are. Don't look back. Don't slow down. One more step. That's it. One more push when your muscles burn. One more rep when your arms shake. One more call when you've been rejected 100 times. One more try when your heart says, maybe it's not worth it. But it is. It always is. Greatness doesn't arrive all at once. It's built one step at a time. One decision, one habit, one small victory repeated over and over. It's not about talent anymore. It's not about luck. It's not even about being the best. It's about showing up again, especially when it's hard, especially when no one's watching, especially when you're not sure it's working. One more step. That's the line between who you are and who you're becoming. You're tired? Good. That means you've been fighting. That means you've got skin in the game. So take the next step, even if you don't see the finish line, especially if you don't see the finish line, because every step forward is a promise to yourself. I won't quit. I'm still here. I'm not done yet. One more step, then another, and then everything changes. Look at you, still standing. After the setbacks, the silence, the self-doubt, you're still here. That's no accident. That's no fluke. That's a decision. That's strength. You didn't wait for permission. You didn't wait to be perfect. You moved. You tried. You fell. And you got back up again and again and again. That's not just effort. That's identity. That's who you are now. You're not the person who gives up. You're not the one who makes excuses. You're not waiting for the right moment. You create the moment. You've earned your scars. You faced your fears. You've walked through fire and found your voice on the other side. This isn't a dream anymore. This is you living with purpose, standing in your truth, rising with every fall. You're not here to be average. You're not here to play small. You're not here to survive. You're here to lead. You're here to build. You're here to rise. And when the world tries to forget you, make it remember when they say, you can't. Make sure they see that you did. This is your time. This is your fight. This is who you are now. So walk forward, not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. Because you know now, no one is born great, but you've become it.